Welcome to the Chelmsford Guide to Digital Marketing. I'm Tim Rothwell, and you're listening to part 2 of our 4-part series on building trust and digital reputation, right here in Chelmsford. In this episode, we're talking about something every business dreads, but will face at some point: negative reviews. Now, let's be honest, getting a bad review stings, especially when you know the full story behind it, or when it feels unfair. But here's the reality: how you respond matters more than the review itself. In fact, a well-crafted response to a negative review can actually increase trust in your business. It shows you're human, you care, and you're willing to listen, even when things go wrong. So today, I want to give you a clear, simple strategy for responding to negative reviews that makes you look calm, professional, and proactive, even when you're fuming behind the scenes. Let's start with mindset. Your response isn't really for the person who left the review. It's for everyone else who might read it later. Potential customers in Chelmsford are checking out your reviews to decide if they should trust you. If they see you responding thoughtfully and professionally, that speaks volumes. So here's a simple framework I recommend, and it works especially well when you're replying in a way that feels calm and human. Start by acknowledging the feedback, just a line that lets the reviewer know you've read and understood their comment. Then, if it's appropriate, offer a brief apology. Even if the situation wasn't entirely your fault, showing empathy builds trust. After that, address the concern directly, but keep it short and professional. You don't need to go into great detail, just enough to show you take it seriously. And finally, if more needs to be said, invite the customer to continue the conversation privately. That might be by email, phone, or in person, whatever makes resolution easier and more respectful. Let me show you how this works in practice. Say you run a cafe at Great Baddow Vineyards and someone leaves a 2-star review saying the service was slow on a Saturday. Even if you know it was unusually busy, here's a good response. Hi Sarah, thanks for your feedback, and I'm really sorry to hear your experience wasn't up to our usual standard. Saturdays can get busy, but that's no excuse. We're reviewing how we manage peak times and really appreciate you pointing this out. If you'd like to speak further, feel free to email us directly at email address. We'd love the chance to make it right. Notice what's happening there. You're not being defensive. You're not arguing. You're acknowledging the concern, offering context without making excuses, and showing that you care. Now, what if the review feels totally unfair or exaggerated? Stay calm. Take a breath. And remember, again, the audience is the next person reading, not the reviewer themselves. Let's say you run a plumbing business in Chelmsford and someone says you didn't show up, but your records show they cancelled last minute. You might say, "Hi Mark, thanks for your message. We're sorry for any confusion. Our records show that the appointment was cancelled with short notice, but we understand how frustrating that can be. We always aim to communicate clearly, and we'll take your feedback on board. Please feel free to reach out if there's anything we can do to clarify further." You've kept your tone respectful. You've given your side without being combative. And most importantly, you've maintained your reputation for future readers. Another tip: respond quickly. If someone leaves a bad review and it sits there unanswered for days or weeks, that silence speaks louder than words. Try to reply within 24 to 48 hours if possible. And here's something I always encourage: respond to positive reviews too. It shows balance. It proves that you care about all feedback, not just damage control. One more thing: don't get dragged into arguments. If a reviewer keeps replying aggressively after your response, leave it be. Your calm, professional message is already doing the work for you. So, to sum it up, when you get a negative review, respond quickly, respectfully, and with your future customers in mind. Keep your tone human and professional. Acknowledge the issue, offer context if needed, and give people confidence that you're a business that listens, improves, and takes responsibility when things go wrong. Handled right, a negative review can become a positive moment of credibility. That's it for part 2 of the Digital Reputation series. I'm Tim Rothwell. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in part 3, where we'll talk about how to make the most of your best reviews by using them across all your marketing channels, not just Google. Catch you next time.